Huh? What happened?
Where the drive at?
What?
Hey, yo, man. Why you dancing?
Get down! What the hell you doing?
What happened?
What?
Tribe go cuckoo. Magic rock makes tribe shuffle. Many moons never stop. Magic rock cursed.
Me
Hey,
no
yo,
scared
man.
of no magic rock.
It will get in bones.
Yeah, he smoke funny leaf.
Here, just hold. Play along.
Party rock! Yeah. Woo! Let's go.
Party rock is in the house tonight. Everybody just have a good time.
Yeah.
And we gon' make you lose your mind. Everybody just have a good time. Party rock is in the house tonight.
Oh,
Everybody just have a good time.
I can feel it.
And we gon' make you lose your mind.
Yeah.
We just wanna see you
Shake that.
In the club, party rock. Pick up for your girl, she on my jock. Now stop when we in the spot. Booty moving weight like she on the block. With a drink, I got to know. Tack G tattoo, cause I'm rock, raw. Half black, half white, diamond now. Gang of money, open up.
Yo, I'm running through these halls like Drano. I got that devilish flow, rock and roll, no halo. We party rock. Yeah, that's the crew that I'm repping on a rise to the top. No lead in our Zeppelin. Hey,
Party rock is in the house tonight. Everybody just have a good time.
yeah.
And we gon' make you lose your mind. Everybody just have a good time.
Let's go.
Party rock is in the house tonight. Everybody just have a good time.
Feel it,
And we
man.
gon' make you lose your mind. We just wanna see you.
Shake that.
Every day I'm shuffling. Shuffling, shuffling.
Thank you for the no sound. Yes. Yes. Welcome back. Welcome, friends. Allow me to repeat myself all over again. That was beautiful intro, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure, guys. I'm pretty sure that's Bizanacci. Like, I'm pretty sure that's his YouTube channel. I don't know. Go check it out. It's Leonardo of Biz on YouTube. And yes, I'm back at 2:30 p.m. in the afternoon. I was out, guys. I went to good old God's country, good old New Orleans, Louisiana, just to visit my family and just say hey to them real quick for a couple days, chill, and stayed away from my phone as much as I could. And yeah, I'm back. Of course, I drove probably like 20 something hours in total, 10 or 11 there. Actually, it was like 13-hour drive there because leaving Miami, we got stuck in traffic for like 3 hours because yeah. And coming back, so like maybe like 20 something hours total. But yes, I'm back, friends. I'm back from the blockchain. And don't you worry, that is indeed the topic of discussion today. So why don't I not waste any more time and just get right into it? So we're just going to pick off right where we left off. You guys remember the sovereign individual. So previously, guys, just to recap, I guess, talking about the I don't think we finished the abracadabra part. Okay, kind of how basically explaining like being able to have access to a computer nowadays is like it's the modern equivalent to people 1,000, 2,000 years ago. I mean, even, honestly, guys, even like less than that, like 200 years ago, having the power of like equivalent to the ancient Greek gods. Like I can communicate with anyone instantly over the internet. I can observe events from afar with lightning speed, might I add, with Starlink trademark through the internet, right? That's something that back then, like that was only in like that's just a conspiracy theory. That's just something from a crazy comic book, right? In the next chapter, well, not really chapter, but the next part of this chapter. Actually, this might be another chapter. I don't know. We're just pretend like it's a section of the book because it is. The end of nations, my friends. The end of nations. So, how are we going to relate this to modern time? Well, there may or may not be one very large nation that I believe probably might be on its last leg, something similar to the Roman Empire. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a guava farmer. I don't know anything about nothing. I don't know nothing about nothing. All right, friends. So let's get into it. Changes that diminish the power of predominant institutions are both unsettling and dangerous. So changes that diminish the power of these institutions, and you can consider these institutions to be nations, right? Right off the bat, what changes do you think this is, guys? Like, what do we see now? Good old Ice Cream Man is apparently trying to make a cryptocurrency executive order, I believe it's called. That's right, executive order to regulate cryptocurrency immediately, or at least to make the little branches underneath the United States federal government study, is what they're saying. Now, if you guys already know, like this morning, that information was like leaked as to what they're going to try to do. Leaked, quote unquote leaked. I don't know if that was really leaked or not. Talking about Russia. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know about that, man. There's no way the Alphabet Nation could fail. Definitely not, right? We have a very strong, powerful army full of his moms from the introductory video of the stream, right? So of course it wouldn't be us. Just as monarchs, lords, popes, and potentates. Can someone pronounce this word correctly for me, please? Fought ruthlessly to preserve their accustomed privileges in the early stages of the modern period. So today's governments will employ violence, often of a covert and arbitrary kind. So it's going to be covert in nature and arbitrary. So like, I don't know, if you do something good, you're going to get punished for it, right? And the attempt to hold back the clock. Because what's going on right now, friends, what's going on right now is the government in a video game, of course, in Minecraft, right? All these governments, they're just trying to hold back the clock from the inevitable happening, right? Kind of like exactly like they're saying in this book. I wonder. Weakened by the challenge from technology, so the state will treat increasingly autonomous individuals, its former citizens, I like that, with the same rage of ruthlessness and diplomacy it has heretofore displayed in its dealing with other governments. So, like, in this whole attempt and this whole process that the governments are going to do, or actually are doing, in order to quote unquote hold back the clock per se, they're trying to prevent the people who don't already need them or aren't going to need them from actualizing that to the fullest extent. All right, that's what I believe that this line means right there. Increasingly harsh techniques of exaction will be a logical corollary of the emergence of a new type of bargaining between governments and individuals. So I wonder what that could be, because I actually don't really, I mean, I guess, how does the government get funding, right? They have to get their funding from tax dollars. You have to willingly give a government money in order for them to sustain life, correct? So if you have both these two parties, right? If you have governments and nations, etc., and you have these people who don't need said governments and nations, they would just rather, exist on their own. And maybe those same people are under the mindset of, well, I don't mind giving money in the form of taxes if I'm going to get some kind of service out of it, in the same way that I don't mind giving a car dealership $100,000 for a Ferrari. They're going to get the Ferrari in return, and they give up the $100,000, right? Whereas with what we're currently seeing in the world, if you were to give the government $100,000 in tax payments, although people are going to argue against this, you really don't really see any. You're not going to see $100,000 benefit back into your pocket. And the reason for that is because you actually really don't. You might get like $1 out of it, out of the, I don't know, 100,000 in the fact that the crack on the sidewalk may or may not be fixed in the next 5 years. I don't know. Right? Technology will make individuals more nearly sovereign than ever before. We're seeing that now, right? And they will be treated that way, sometimes violently, as enemies, sometimes as equal parties in negotiation, sometimes as allies. But however ruthless the governments behave, particularly in the transition period, wetting the IRS and the CIA will avail them little. So that's literally what we're seeing right now. We're literally, I mean, what didn't at the beginning of last year, the Biden administration tried to jack up the IRS by trying to hire 100,000 something new employees, something crazy, right? That's their attempt to hold back the clock, right? That's their attempt to hold back the clock, because technology, especially blockchain technology, is going to allow people to be more sovereign, and already is. They will be increasingly required by the press of necessity, the press of necessity, to bargain with autonomous individuals whose resources will no longer be so easily controlled. Literally what we're just talking about. Literally what we're just talking about, mates. Literally what we're just talking about. You can't really control someone's private keys, can you? Unless, you're on using some kind of exchange where you don't really have access to your private keys, et cetera, et cetera. Insert the age-old, not your keys, not your coins, right? The change is implied by the information revolution will not only create a fiscal crisis for governments. We're literally seeing that right now. We're seeing that right now. We're seeing a fiscal crisis for governments literally right now, friends. Look at what's happening with all the sanctions in between the United States and Russia. Do I really need to explain? Common sense. Everybody here has common sense. Okay, that's what I thought. They will tend to disintegrate all large structures. 14 empires have disappeared already in the 20th century. Wow, I didn't know that. 14. The Roman Empire being one of them, I suppose, right? The breakdown of empires is part of a process that will dissolve the nation state itself. Government will have to adapt to the growing autonomy of the individual. taxing capacity will plunge 50 to 70%. That would be quite a lot, right? That would be quite a lot. Cody says, I still mind as far as the taxes. You can't convince me someone won't do the same thing we have now eventually. Wade says they should try fixing some roads around here for the tax money paid in. Yeah, but they probably won't. If we're just being honest, go ahead and if you want to know where your tax dollars go and if it's going to fix the roads, just go ahead and take a look at like New Orleans, Louisiana, Jackson, Mississippi. It ain't going to fix the roads, my friends. It ain't going to fix the roads. It's interesting. It's interesting to see that in this book, they're saying when this happens, taxing capacity will plunge 50 to 70%. We're already kind of seeing that now, right? That's why the Biden administration is taking a big old bicycle pump, and they're trying to pump as much into the IRS as possible right now. Theory, right? This will tend to make smaller jurisdictions more successful. The challenge of setting competitive terms to attract able individuals and their capital will be more easily undertaken in enclaves than across continents. And I think maybe the reason why this would be is because, if you live in a small jurisdiction, okay, and your community, maybe the smaller jurisdiction, you don't feel like, hey, this is just some kind of like encroaching, like just bad actor who just wants to take my money and do nothing for it. Maybe these smaller jurisdictions, because these people in the smaller jurisdictions know their community, they know their neighbors, they know the people of their city or town or whatever, et cetera, et cetera. Since they know these people, that they're not going to mind. In fact, they might actually want to give their money to them, right? So that's a possibility there. We believe that as the modern nation state decomposes, latter-day barbarians will increasingly come to exercise power behind the scenes. Oh, wow. Wow. Groups like Russian Mafia, I like how Mafia is spelled Mafia, which picks the bones of the former Soviet Union, other ethnical criminal gangs, nomenclatures? Is it nomenclatures? Nomenclatures. Drug lords and renegade convert agencies will be laws unto themselves. Interesting with noting the Russian Mafia. They already are. Far more than is widely understood, the modern barbarians have already infiltrated the forms of the nation state without greatly challenging its appearances. Well, that's it. I'm done. I think that was it. I think, just kidding. Just kidding, friends. Wow. I'm not going to comment on that. They are microparasites feeding on a dying system. As violent and unscrupulous as a state at war, these groups employ the techniques of the state on a smaller scale. Anybody been seeing the stuff with the UKRAINE videos on the internet? Anybody seen any of that stuff? Nope. All right, didn't think so. Guy says, yeah, I'm in NFTs, not fucking paying taxes. LMAO. Their growing influence of power are part of the downsizing of politics. Microprocessing reduces the size that groups must attain in order to be effective in the use and control of violence. Microprocessing reduces the size that groups must attain in order to be effective in these and control of violence. Now I wonder, is there anything currently going on? Is there anything currently going on literally at this very exact moment that relates to? Maybe somewhere in some kind of Slavic land. I wonder. Nope, that definitely can't be going on right now. Surely not. And this technological revolution unfolds, or as this technological revolution unfolds, predatory violence will be organized more and more outside of central control. Efforts to contain violence will also devolve in ways that depend more upon efficiency than magnitude of power. Yes. I wonder if there's anything like that going on right now. Nomenclatunas are the entrenched elites that ruled the former Soviet Union and other state-run economies. Okay, well, they answered that definition for us right there. Thank you very much. So the book is telling you guys the nation state as we know it if it's going to proceed into the information age, if it wants to survive and sustain life, if it wants people to breathe, if it wants people to put bread on the table, stuff's going to have to change. They're going to have to change. They're going to have to downsize. They're going to have to potentially treat people who they get their resources and income from maybe a little different. You know, what else does the book tell us? It tells us in the beginning of the book that it ain't going to start like that, right? That it's going to be a little rough for those people. And that they're going to try to delay the clock as long as possible because they know it's over. They're going to zero. But you guys aren't. Because you guys know how to code. Don't you, friends? Speaking of, let me play this so I can go get water. What's up, guys? I'm Josh, or as you probably know me, eLift Program, and I'm here to talk to you about Developer Direction. What is Developer Direction, you might ask? We are the ultimate IT network and training academy. Ever heard of Fight Club? Yeah, it's kind of like that, but with more computing power. We teach and give courses just like boot camps, but that's not all. We help people actually get jobs, unlike colleges, and we help people get better jobs with better pay and a better life. Here at DD, you don't get grades because your performance is reflected upon by how good you're doing in the real world. You won't accumulate hundreds of thousands. All right. So it's going to happen, friends. We're already seeing it happen. We're seeing it unfold before our very eyes. All right. I really don't think, like, for my average viewers, I really don't think I need to explain more. I literally, guys, think about what I did on this stream. All right. Please think here, okay? Because I'm not going to try to be cheesy anymore at the end of this. Let me just be serious, okay? I haven't even come. And let me take off my glasses, actually, so I can look a little bit more serious, okay? I literally just took a vacation, took like a 4 or 5 day vacation, all right? Came back to the stream completely unprepared because I knew I was just going to read The Sovereign Individual like we have been, right? I open up the fucking book and I just read right where we left off, and it's literally talking about everything that's going on right now in the world, okay? Need I say more? That wasn't intentional, all right? You could probably pick up the book in any chapter and just put your finger on a sentence and probably read something that is like, whoa, this is happening right now. So be prepared, friends. Be fucking prepared and be happy and be excited about it because it is over as we know it, and that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing if you are a sovereign individual and or a practicing sovereign individual, okay? eliftprogram.com. If you want to get in contact with me, developerdirection.com. You want to learn how to code, guavalabs.io if you need some code. And I'm out. See ya.